Hello everyone, I'm Sanat from Aries Education, and today I'm going to be talking to you about topic 1.1 from the AP Computer Science A curriculum. So over the course of these videos, we're going to be talking about AP Computer Science A curriculum and going over the basics of programming in Java. During these videos, we'll be using the IntelliJ IDEA IDE, which the link to download will be in the description. So first, creating our first program, the first step we have to do is go and move our mouse over the SRC tab right here, right click it, go new, and then Java class. So one thing to note in Java, as compared to other classes, for other programming languages, for people who have experience programming in Python or C, is that every language we have is a class. So we're going to talk about this more later when we go into different units and talk about inheritance and class structure. But first, all you have to do is that when you create a program, you want to create a new Java class. So we're just going to call it main. So this is going to be our main Java program. So it'll create this program. It'll say public class main. So again, every program we create is a class. So you see here there are these two brackets. They're the open bracket and the closed bracket. All the code that we have go inside these brackets. If we have any code outside of these brackets, it'll give an error because it does not run any code outside of the brackets. So the first thing that we want to do inside the brackets is create our main method. So the program will only run the main method. It will not run any other part of the code. So the rest of the part of the code inside the main, inside these two brackets, can be used inside of these two brackets can be used for different other functions that we're going to create. But first, we're just going to create the main method. So the way we do this is we say public static void main, and then put a parentheses, and then capital S string, and then a square bracket, and then args. So what this function does is this is like I said before, this is where we put all of our code that we're going to run in. So we're gonna get to know each one of these keywords later, but just to know, this is what we have to type in. If we type anything different, it will not recognize this as a function to run. So now that we're in our function, what can we do? So the first thing that we're gonna do is print something to the console, or the terminal. So the way we use this is we use the system.out.println function. So we type in system.out.println, and we put a parentheses. So what this does is it tells the system to print something to the output. There's something that you have to note is that in the parentheses, what you see is this is actually where what you want to say goes. So here we would put whatever we want to say. So if there's a variable or if we want to say some text, we'd put that inside the parentheses. A note is that there are actually two different types of ways to print. There's system.out.println and system.out.print. So these two are actually different things. They are used in different ways. So the ln in println in the first line shows that this will print a statement and then create a new go to the next line. But for this, it'll just print a statement and not go to the next line. So if I switch the order up, right, and put another statement down here, what it'll do is that it'll print the first statement and then immediately print the second statement on the same line, and then go to the next line because of the ln statement and print a statement there. So let's actually print something. So the way we want to print text, or what is called a string, is by using parentheses, by using quotation marks. So quotation marks create what's called a string literal. So this holds all of our text, characters, and other types of string values. So in this in the quotation marks, we can put whatever we want to say. So we can say hello world. So this statement, what it'll say, it'll print the words hello world to the console. So the way we run the program is by going over this button right here and clicking it, and it'll say run main.main. We click it again, and then as you can see, It'll take some time. It'll say it's building, and then after it's done, we're going to see that it prints right here, hello world. So uh, with this statement, we can do a lot of different things. In combination with the other statements, like in combination with the print line, we can also see the difference between the two statements. So if I put a system out of print line statement outside of the after the system out of print statement, we can see that there will be and we call this I am son of, right? We can run the program and see that it'll print it on the same line, and then the print line statement will tell it to go to the next line. So in most cases you'll want to use the print line statement because it'll help you and it'll allow you to easily go to the next line. You won't have to think about it. But in some cases you can use a print statement to a lot of great effect. So one thing that you may have noticed is that after every print statement we have these semicolons. So one thing that's important in Java is the ending of a statement. So as you can see, these lines, the first and second lines, end with brackets, and these signify code blocks. So a code block is anything that it's a container that contains some code in it. So all of the code inside a code block belongs to the thing that's before the bracket. So the public class main creates you have a code block which contains this main function, and the main uh, function has a code block which contains these two lines. So that's what the brackets do, and the semicolons signify the end of a command. So whenever we do a print statement, do some addition, do some subtraction, any function what we do, we always have a semicolon at the end. So this is Java's way of knowing that that line is done. So unlike some languages like Python, where indentation and spacing is important, in Java it does not matter at all, and is only for ease of programming. So if I were to do something like this and put them both on the same line, it would still run it perfectly fine, just because it knows the semicolons tell it when to stop, and it'll ignore all this white space. So just to wrap up this lesson, I'm going to give you a challenge which you can enter this question in the comment section. So I'm going to arrange the print and print line statements in a way, and you guys will tell me what do you think it'll say. So we'll say system.out.println hello hello YouTube, and we put our semicolon at the end, and let's do a print uh, and then we'll say this is, and then we say system.out.println Aries education, and then we will put another system.out.print and just put an exclamation mark. So right now in the comment section you guys can go and guess what this will result in when we run the program. Alright, so I'm gonna guess you guys made your guesses, and let's run the program and see what happens. So this is what it prints out. So first it prints out hello YouTube, and then because it has a print line at the end, a print line and not a print, it'll go to the next line, which is this line right here. And then it'll just print this is, or this second print statement right here, it'll print this is with the space after it, and then it'll not go to the next line. It'll just stay in the same line, and then it'll print Aries education, and then go to the next line, and then it'll print just an exclamation mark, and then go to the next line. So this is what it'll print. So if you got it right, good job. If you didn't get it right, hopefully I was able to explain to you how this happened. So anyways, that's going to be it for the first video. In future videos, we're going to be talking about more things in Unit 1, such as variables and doing different operations with these variables. Hope you have a good day, and thank you for watching.